Good morning. Welcome to the January 28th, 2021 inaugural meeting of the Sunshine Coast Regional Hospital District Board. I would like to call the meeting to order at 9:05 a.m. and acknowledge that Sunshine Coast Regional District is within the territory of the Sechelt and Squamish First Nations. Our first order of business will be the election of the chair. The procedure for election of the chair is set out by the Board Procedures Bylaw, which states that at each inaugural meeting, the corporate officer will call for nominations for chair and will conduct a vote by secret ballot. If only one candidate is nominated, the candidate will be declared elected by acclamation. I will call for nominations 3 times. At the close of nominations, if more than one candidate has been nominated, each will be given a maximum of 3 minutes to address the board in favor of their candidacy, and in the order the nominations were received. If an election by voting is required, an election by electronic ballot will be held. Directors have been briefed on the procedure to submit an electronic ballot in advance of this meeting. Once the results have been recorded, we will inform the board if there is a successful candidate. A majority of votes of the members present is required to elect the chair, which means that one of the candidates must receive at least 5 votes in order to be elected. If no one receives at least 5 votes, the voting will be repeated. When the voting is repeated, all names remain on the ballot unless a nominee withdraws. Are there any questions from the board relating to the process? Okay, I will now call a first time for nominations for the position of chair for the Sunshine Coast Regional District, Sunshine Coast Regional Hospital District. Director Toth.
Thank you, Chair. I nominate Director Seegers.
Director Seegers, do you accept the nomination?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
I will now call for nominations a second time. I will now call for nominations a third and final time. Seeing no further nominations, I declare Director Seegers elected as chair of the Sunshine Coast Regional Hospital District by acclamation.
Thank you.
So I will now turn the meeting over to the newly elected chair to conduct the election of the vice chair. Thank you.
Thank you. So the election of the vice chair will follow the same procedure as the election of the chair. So at the close of nominations, if more than one candidate has been nominated, each candidate will be given a maximum of 3 minutes to address the board in favor of their candidacy and in the order the nominations are received. If an election by voting is required, directors will cast their vote by electronic ballot, and that's been provided to us previously by the corporate officer. A majority of votes of the members present is required to elect the vice chair, which means that one of the candidates must receive at least 5 votes to be elected. If no one receives at least 5 votes, the vote is repeated. When the voting is repeated, all names remain on the ballot unless a nominee withdraws. So I will call a first time for nominations for the position of vice chair for the Sunshine Coast Regional Hospital District. Director McMahon.
Yes, I'd like to nominate Director Beamish.
Thank you. Director Beamish, do you accept the nomination?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. So I'll now call for nominations for a second time. And I will call for nominations a third time. There being no further nominations, I declare Director Beamish elected as vice chair of the Sunshine Coast Regional Hospital District by acclamation. Congratulations. All right, thank you. So I believe we now move into the agenda for the meeting. Sherry's nodding her head, perfect. All right, so we have an agenda in front of us. Are there any additions or deletions to the agenda? Seeing none, I'd look for a motion to adopt the agenda as presented. Moved, seconded, all in favor? Thank you. So the first item of business is the minutes of the Sunshine Coast Regional Hospital District regular board meeting of October 22nd, 2020. I'd look for a motion to adopt the minutes. Moved, seconded, all in favor? Thank you. Any business arising from the minutes or unfinished business? All right, seeing none, we'll move to Annex B, reports, and first a motion to receive the report. Moved, seconded, all in favor? Thank you, and we'll turn this over to Tina Perot.
Thank you, Chair. So this is the audit planning report from BDO, which in November they presented for the regional district. So this is a special report specifically for the RHD in preparation for our audit upcoming in March. So there is some detail there, and I'll just take any questions if there are any. Pretty straightforward for the RHD.
All right, any questions by the board? They're shaking their head. No questions. Oh, Director Beamish.
Yeah, I understand the complexity of the regional district audit process and the need for a major firm like BDO, but for the regional hospital district, is there the same level of complexity? Is there, have we taken this out in recent years to see if there is any local firms that would be capable of conducting an audit like this?
So when we conduct our request for proposals, we do that every 5 years, and consequently, this is our last year of the contract with BDO. So we will be going out to market. When we do that, we actually solicit requests for proposals for the regional district, the regional hospital district, and we also have a requirement through the province for the hillside foreshore leases to conduct sort of what we call a mini audit. So it goes out to the market. Each proponent can submit an application for each entity. We have in the past had firms just apply for certain aspects of the audit. There does seem to have some good economies of scale when one firm does all components of the regional district, hospital district, and foreshore, because they're, you know, it's the same staff and whatnot. So from a efficiency perspective, it would add sort of a little bit, probably more work on staff's part. So, but the opportunity is out there to the market to most certainly do that, and that'll go out, I hope, in the summertime.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Director Hills.
So this would be the first time that the social procurement policy applies to this going to the market. This would be the first time. So that might address Director Beamish's discussion point about can someone on the coast do any of this? So it might have different scoring, perhaps in the next round.
Okay. Any further questions? So there's a recommendation on page 4. Would someone like to make the recommendation? Moved by Director Hilt, seconded by Director McMahon. And that's the audit planning report from BDO Canada LLP for the audit of the financial statements of the Sunshine Coast Regional Hospital District for the year ended December 31st, 2020 be received. All those in favor? Thank you. Seeing no further business on the agenda, I'd look for a motion to adjourn. Moved and seconded, all in favor? Thank you. See you shortly on the other side.